Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram. Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram. Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Raja Ram, Jaya Sita Ram. Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Sita Ram. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Oh, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
गौरवानंदे जय श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की no you sing who is going to play that come sing something Sam Hare Krishna sing fast pro kare kya Maharaj Hare Krishna
Very basic.
not a problem just sing Hare Krishna everyone please follow the singing okay try to follow तो सबको और आनंद आएगा हाँ you want to sing you want to play you want to play harmonium okay then you can sing if you want Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram okay it's okay then sing okay then come yeah Prabhu you also like you can play something good
तो महाराज आए हैं प्रभु महाराज आए हैं शायद
Maharaj will be not coming inside now Maharaj is going upstairs
ओके sure
okay Padma 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 okay go there
कहाँ गया
one set वो लेके गया महाराज के लिए आपको ये काम नहीं किया संडे को लेके आएगा
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadama. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo.
Yeah, 10 minutes. I'll bring Maharaj at 6 o'clock. So, but then I need you to move this way so that I can bring the Vyasas up here so Maharaj can sit here.
or play?
No, play only.
Okay, Mataji will sing. Mataji will sing, you play harmonium. And
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Huh? Okay. Ayodhya Vasi Ram, Ram Ram, Dashrath Nandana Ram. Dashrath. Ayodhya Vasi Ram, Ram Ram, Dashrath Nandana Ram. Patita Pavana Janaki Jivana Dashrath Nandana Ram. Janaki Jivana Nandana Ram. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Ram Sita Ram, Jai 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 Ram. Ram Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Ram Sita Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Sita Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Ram Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Sakhi Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Jai Ram Jai Sitaram
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 Jai Ram Jai Shri Ram
Jai Ram Jai Sitaram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Bolo
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Jai Ram Jai Sitaram
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 Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman
Ram Jai Sitaram
Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman
Jai Sitaram Nityananda Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Gita Gita
Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Jai Sitaram Jai Sitaram
Jai Sitaram Jai Sitaram
Jai Sitaram Jai Sitaram
Jai Sitaram Jai Sitaram
Jai Sitaram
Jai Sitaram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare जय श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय हिज भानु स्वामी महाराज की
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. So today, as we all know, it's a very, very auspicious day, Rama Navmi, and we have in our presence His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj. His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj ki! Okay. Maharaj is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and Maharaj has been associated with ISKCON for more than 45 years. Maharaj is, by birth, he is a Canadian, but then he has been settled down in Chennai for quite a long time. And Maharaj just spends his time, most of the time in Chennai, but then he also visits other temples in Malaysia, in Japan. He is the GBC, he is the governing body council head for these locations, Australia, New Zealand. So he travels every year. He comes once to these locations. So we are very, very fortunate to have his association on this very, very auspicious day of Rama Navmi. Maharaj is a very renowned Sanskrit scholar. He is a renowned astrologer. Maharaj is actually black belt in karate, and Maharaj also plays veena. He learnt veena. So he's a multifaceted sannyasi. And not only that, Maharaj has translated many, many scriptures of our previous acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then other acharyas, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, like that. So Maharaj has published more than 150 books. So if you are interested, you can please let me know. I'll be available and I can order them for you. Many Upanishads Maharaj has translated as well. And he still keeps translating more and more. And we are so fortunate to have such a renowned scholar amongst us today. So let's all chant one time Hare Krishna to welcome him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Namo Vishnu Banai Krishna Prasthai Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswata Devi Gauravani Prachadane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesha Tarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today is the appearance day of Ramachandra. Ramachandra, of course, is very famous in India. His birthplace and place of pastimes. And Ayodhya also very famous. Just recently they opened a huge temple there in Ayodhya also. Very wonderful temple. So Ramachandra is an avatar of the Supreme Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as other scriptures, there will be a list of the authorized avatars of the Lord. In Bhagavatam, there's a list of like 23 or 24 avatars, and Ramchandra is one of them. This means that we cannot invent new avatars whenever we feel like it. There are set avatars, and it's a modern day custom. Some person will come and say, I'm an avatar, but that doesn't make any sense. The next avatar will appear at the end of Kali Yuga, which is 400,000 years from now or so, and his name is Kalki. So that's the next avatar, so no one can claim they're an avatar now. So Ramachandra is famous for coming in Treta Yuga, but Treta Yuga also was not our Treta Yuga. We have a cycle of yugas. We're in Kali Yuga now. Previously was Dwapara Yuga. Previous that was the Treta Yuga. Previous that was the Satya Yuga. This whole cycle takes over 4 million years. But Ramchandra was not born in the previous Treta Yuga. He was born much, much before. In fact, let me see, 4 cycles were in the 28th cycle of Vivaswata Manu's reign, and 24th cycle was Ramchandra. So that's like 16 million years ago. 16 million years ago was Ramchandra, not just, a few hundred, 800,000 years ago or what. He's actually 16 million years ago, according to the scriptures. So it's a long time. And he was born on the Navmi, which is at one of the tithis, the 9th tithi. We celebrate on this particular day, considered to be very, very auspicious. He was also born at a very auspicious time when all the stars were in very good positions with exalted planets, etc. So, the name Rama, of course, usually when we say Rama, it means Ramchandra. But there's several Ramas. There's Parsarama, he's also a Rama. We have Balaram, he's also a Rama. We have several Ramas. And even Krishna, we say Hare Krishna, and we mean Hare Rama. It's also not Ramchandra, it's for us Krishna. So the technical meaning of Ram is one who gives enjoyment to the devotees. In the case of Krishna, the one who gives enjoyment to Radha. And of course for Rama, one who gives enjoyment to Sita. But this is a name usually applied to the Supreme Lord. Of course, if you look in Vishnu Sahasranam, the 1,000 names of Vishnu, you'll see Rama as one of the names also there, name of Vishnu also, because he gives pleasure to Lakshmi. So anyway, Ramchandra is very famous. As I said, there are many different avatars, and we shouldn't think because there are many avatars, there's many gods. There's only one God, but he can have many forms. So, we have Bhagavan, Supreme Lord, and then he will take forms of Rama, who is green in color, or Krishna, who is blue in color, or Balaram, who is white in color, or we'll have other forms like Nrsimhadev, who has a lion form, or Matsya, who has a fish form, or Kurma, who has turtle form, or Hayagriva, who has a horse form, etc. We'll find various forms of the Lord, but it's one Supreme Lord, so it's not many lords. So people will say, oh, Hindus, they are too many gods or whatever, demigods like that. No, ultimately, one God, but he can have many forms. So therefore, we worship Krishna, but we also worship Ramchandra. There's only one God with different form and different color. Apart from that, one could ask, well, then why God should have many forms? Why not one form? The answer is that God is unlimited, so why he cannot have many forms? Each of us has only one form, and we get stuck in that form until we die. Then we give up that body, but we take another form next lifetime. We die, next life, get a different form. One you may be an animal, one a human being, one a man, one a woman, so you get many forms. Supreme Lord can have many forms also, but they're all eternal and all spiritual. That's the difference. And why many forms? Because in many different forms, the Lord can show different qualities and perform different types of activities. Such as Nrsimhadev, because he has this lion form with claws, he can tear apart Hiranyakasipu very nicely. Whereas Ramchandra, he doesn't do that. He uses a bow and arrow to kill Ravana instead. Or as Varaha, the boar avatar, he jumps into the ocean and he pulls out the earth with his tusks. So that form of a boar has a special function to pull the earth out of the ocean and put it in its proper place. So in this way, the Lord can have many, many different forms with different qualities, different pastimes. And the pastimes and the qualities, etc., which define that person, we can also grade them. Some of the forms show more powers, some show less powers, more qualities, less qualities. And so we can grade all the different forms of the Lord. At the top Rupa Goswami has classed 3 as very special. He calls them Purna avatar, or complete avatars. So the 3 are Nrsimhadev, Rama, and Krishna. And that is quite appropriate also, because we see the different forms are worshipped in India, but Rama is very popular, Krishna is very popular, and we know that Ramayana is, everyone likes Ramayana, to hear the stories of Ramchandra. Everybody likes to hear Mahabharata, and all about Krishna. So, these forms of Rama and Krishna are very prominent because they show very remarkable, attractive qualities. Bhagavatam, however, says that the topmost form is Krishna. And therefore the whole 10th canto of Bhagavatam is dedicated to describing the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has selected Krishna, says this is the highest form, in the sense is that he manifests the most wonderful, extraordinary qualities and activities. And therefore we worship Krishna in our temple. But that doesn't mean we do not respect the other forms of the Lord. So when there are appearance days of Ramchandra or of other forms like Nrsimhadev, etc., we also celebrate those days. So that's why we're celebrating Rama's appearance, because he is actually number 2. He is the one that's the second most qualities and powers. So in this way, Ramchandra is of course famous for appearing in the Surya Vamsa, or the Sun Dynasty. In the Bhagavatam and other places, other Puranas, the different dynasties of kings that are continuing from Swayambhuva, Manvantara, and Manu, they are traced out. And there's 2 lines. There's the Sun Dynasty, and there's the offshoot, the Moon Dynasty. So Ramchandra appears in the Sun Dynasty, and Krishna appears in the Moon Dynasty. And these dynasties will continue until the end of 71 Yuga cycles are up, and then there's another cycle going on after that. So anyway, Ramchandra is famous for belonging to the Solar Dynasty, or the Sun Dynasty. And the lineage is traced out in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so in that lineage, finally it comes down to Dasarath, and then from Dasarath we get Rama. So not only Rama was born, but we have 4 personalities there. Rama and his brothers. Which is, we can say, that they're brothers, and actually they are all supreme. They're all forms of the Lord also. But the principal person is Rama. We can trace that back in the spiritual world. In Vaikuntha we have what is called the Chaturvyuha. And there is Vasudev, Shankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradumna. So similarly we have Ramchandra and his brothers being born. So in other words, the Supreme Lord appears in a fourfold form in Vaikuntha, and then he mirrors that by appearing on earth. The same thing happens, of course, with Krishna. So Krishna appears, Balarama appears, who is like Shankarshan, and then in Dwarka, Pradumna and Aniruddha appear. So again, we get the 4 figures appearing, and all are considered to be Supreme Lord. So, of them, of course, Ramchandra performs the most spectacular activities, and the others, the brothers, act as a support for him. As with Krishna, Rama, as he began to grow, he starts as a baby and he grows up. We should not think that actually Rama is born, because he's eternal. So Supreme Lord has no birth and death in one sense. But like Krishna, when he appears in this world, then he appears to be born, and then he appears to grow. So Rama is born, and then he begins to grow, and he displays many extraordinary activities when he is a child, etc. And when he grows up, he also shows many, many extraordinary power displays of strength, etc. And thus, when it came time for Ramchandra's marriage, then he selected Sita as the groom, but he had to break this bow of Shiva, so that was one of his heroic acts at that time. And so it's said he was just like an elephant breaking some sugarcane. So he was able to break that bow that it required 300 men to carry. So he married Sita, but also, of course, Sita is eternally the consort of Ramchandra, just as Lakshmi is the eternal consort of Vishnu. So in this way he was married, and he also is famous that he had meeting with Parsuram, who was also considered to be very, very powerful or whatever. But had that meeting with him, who was also another form of the Lord. So the main story of Ramchandra is how he got banished to the forest with Sita and his brother Lakshmana, and then Sita gets kidnapped, etc. So that's the main story in the Ramayana, and told in great detail there. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, each pastime is just given a few verses because it's told in the very one chapter actually of the Srimad Bhagavatam. In any case, by the we could say misfortune or whatever, he gets banished to the forest, and then Sita goes with him, and Sita is very joyful to do so, even though when Ramchandra goes to the forest, he has to act like a renounced person, more or less, puts on austere clothing, etc. And they wander about the forest together, whatever. And then there's the story of how Ravana sent his demon as a deer, golden deer, and Sita became attracted to the deer and wanted the deer, so Lakshman went out and tried to get the deer, and then ultimately through that it was a trap. Maricha was actually the demon in disguise, and finally through that trickery, and then Ravana managed to kidnap Sita away. So that's also a very famous story. Yeah? So, and then this whole kidnapping and taking away of Sita, that produces a lot of the drama of the Ramayana. Ramchandra laments, but we should understand that this is not the lament of an ordinary person. In the material world, of course, we lament in separation, but in the spiritual world that also takes place. But that is not lamentation like our lamentation. It's actually part of the eternal prema of between Sita and Rama, or between Radha and Krishna. We see in the pastimes of Krishna that Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, then went to Dwarka, and the people of Vrindavan were in separation from Krishna, and they lamented also. So that same type of lamentation is not material. It is part of prema itself. And through that separation, we have an increase in the love between Rama and Sita. So it acted as a stimulus for their love. So we shouldn't think of it as material. And though it looks like there's suffering, actually, it is a process of increasing their bliss. So Jatayu also tried to intervene, and Jatayu was killed. And then Ramchandra performed the funeral rites for him because he's a great devotee. And in this way, finally, after getting the help of the monkeys, then Ramchandra went to the ocean. And a very famous incident, Ramchandra made an bridge over the ocean with the help of all of the monkeys. And in this way, he was able to enter into Lanka, where he had understood that Sita was staying. Along with Rama, we find at this point, when the monkeys appear, we have Hanuman. And Hanuman takes a very prominent role. He becomes the servant of Ramchandra, and very, very prominent. So, there's a Hanuman here also. So usually when we have Ramchandra, you'll have Hanuman somewhere there. So he's very famous. And even in Lord Chaitanya Leela, we get his incarnation in Lord Chaitanya's Leela as Murari Gupta, who was a devotee of Ramchandra. So he also appears even in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. So he's famous for having being a servant, and this is what we call Dasya Rasa. Very, very famous because he serves Ramchandra in all sorts of forms. So this is, and he pledges, his pledges of service to Ramchandra are very, very famous. So at this time, he becomes a prominent figure. He went to Lanka first, and he burned down the city of Lanka. So anyway, the monkeys, etc., they all enthusiastically began to build the bridge to Lanka, and they crossed over on the ocean like this, very nicely. And then, of course, the battle began on the other side. Ramchandra, of course, he's Supreme Lord, so very powerful. He had his devotees, the Hanuman and all the monkeys, as well as his own soldiers. And he had, on the other side, of course, we have Ravana and all of his soldiers. So there were, like in the Mahabharata, etc., so in the Ramayana, there's also stories of all the battles that take place and the destruction of Sri Lanka, etc. Very intense fighting. So, finally, of course, then Ramchandra killed Ravana. Ravana is famous because he had 10 heads, which indicate his desire for more and more sense gratification. Like we have 10 senses, so he had 10 heads to multiply his sense gratification. We also understand in this story that actually he was another, like a reincarnation of Hiranyakasipu. And Hiranyakasipu had a brother Hiranyaksha, so the two of them reincarnated in this pastime. So Ravana was the principal demon, and then just as Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakasipu, Ramchandra kills Ravana. This will again be repeated in Krishna's pastimes when Krishna kills Shishupala. So in this way, the demon took 3 births as Hiranyakasipu, Ravana, and Shishupala, and each time the Lord killed him. First as Narasimhadev, second as Ramchandra, third time as Krishna. And as I mentioned, these 3 forms of the Lord are the Purna avatars. They're the most powerful avatars, manifesting the most qualities. So they get to kill these big demons. So anyway, Ramchandra, then his battle was with Ravana, and naturally, of course, he could kill him. But just to display the prowess of battle, then he did not kill him immediately. The battle went on and on and on. But then finally, of course, he had to finish him off. So that's what happened. Ramchandra was very skillful. We see him with the bow here also, yeah? He's got his bow. So with his bow, he was able to pierce Ravana and finish him off. Another picture of him there. So, in this way, we have a celebration of Rama's victory over Ravana. Now, the main purpose of this, of course, was to rescue Sita. So that happened. He found Sita sitting under the Ashok tree, lamenting. And then when Sita saw Rama, she became very relieved. And her face blossomed like a lotus. Now, there's, of course, the story of